Let's tessellate with a triangle now, and we will use the pen tool to create our design and ultimately color the design by using the live paint bucket tool in Illustrator. Please open up an 8.5 by 11 inch document in Illustrator so we can begin. While you're launching it, that's what I have on the screen here. While you're launching yours, I will remind you that this is the next lesson in Blackboard entitled Triangle Tessellation Exercise. And to help you with the first drawing, you may download the graphic that is supplied in the Blackboard file, and I will bring it up as we go along. First, once you have the document opened, I want you to go to View, Show Grid, and we're going to begin a preliminary exercise just learning some of the basics of the pen tool, which will create Bezier curve. To prepare for this lesson, make sure that you follow how to make using the pen tool in Illustrator file that's provided in the tessellation folder. You will then, under that file, it will lead you to the CC 2018 chapters. It leads you to a wiki, and you will follow Chapter 6, CC 18, Line Art and Graphics, the pen tool, to give you a little introduction on how to use the pen tool. And I will start here with a simple exercise to create a D and using your grid. Now I'm going to go close up, Command plus, and I'm going to grab the pen tool, which is 2 down on the column here, and click on one of the intersections in the grid. We're going to activate this. Now I'm going to click right here. Then I'm taking my mouse and coming out, let's go 5 blocks out, 4 blocks down. Now this time I want you to click and hold your left mouse button down and pull straight down. Click and pull straight down, and you'll notice that the levers will come out, the direction levers, and from the anchor point. Then release your mouse, and you've created your first curved path that ends up on an anchor point. Now you take your mouse and go directly below the first point and click and release, and then take your mouse and go back to the starting point, and you'll notice a circle appears, which means you're going to close the path, and click to complete the path. Alright, now at this point I want you to go to the selection tool, the black arrow, and as you can see, we've created the letter D, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, 3 anchor points, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 anchor points. And this happens to create the D, and as you can see at the bottom of the tool panel, it is a white fill and a black stroke. Alright, now we're going to, since it's selected, I want you to delete it. And delete again. Now I want you to practice doing that one more time. Take the pen tool, click once, bring your mouse over, click and drag straight down, and click here below it, and click up here and finish it. Now to deselect it, Shift Command A deselects it. Alright, now we're going to try to do it and economize and put fewer points in and learn how to convert an anchor point, which is going to be very helpful when we're doing our illustration for our tessellation. This time we're going to go to another part of the grid. I'm going to go here, click once, and bring your mouse straight down below that click. Now this time you're going to click and hold your left mouse button down and drag 45 degrees until it swells to a D, like so. And you'll notice now, and now I'm going to let go, and now we have the D, and we have these long levers that control the way the path relates to the anchor point. Now, please drag your cursor over the point you just did, and you'll notice it turns into a convert anchor point icon, and click on it. When you did that, it retracts one of the levers, which tells the program that you're going to now create a connecting point, a connecting path that will be a straight line. Now take your mouse and go up and finish, and click. And Shift Command A deselects. So now you have another D made with only 1, 2, 3 clicks, and essentially 2 anchor points. So far, we're going to try that one more time so that you understand how to access the Convert Anchor Point tool. So let's do Command A and select all of the things and hit delete. So we just deleted everything we just did. Once more, click here, go down directly below, click and drag approximately 45 degrees until you see the curve, and then let go. Hover your mouse over that point you just did, and it will retract that lever. Then go up to the original point and finish. And now I'm going to go back to my selection tool, select the whole thing, and I'm going to delete it. Now before we go on to the next project, let me just show you what happens if we didn't do the Convert Anchor Point tool. You don't have to do this. I'm taking the pen tool and I'm clicking here, I'm clicking down here, I'm clicking over like this, and now I just want to finish. So I'll go up here, but the program thinks it's going to be another curve, like that. All right, now what do I do? At this point, if this happens, you go to the white arrow and you grab this point, this lever, and bring it and close it up like that. So that just teaches you a little bit about the direct selection tool, which allows you to select individual points on your object. Now I'm going to take the black arrow and I'm going to select this and delete it, and all of you should now go to View, Hide Grid, and at this point I want you to go out and take a look at, or if you would like to, you may download the graphic that is given to you in the triangle tessellation exercise, and you may place it into this document, and it will look like this. Here is what you have in Blackboard, and we're going to construct this right now. The first one, in order to simplify it for you, here is the triangle that we will use as a model, and so that you can follow along and create all of these shapes in the interior of the triangle, and using your pen tool. So at this point, whether you have your graphic or not, you can follow along with this, and I'll show you how to construct it. First, go to your tool bar over here and point to the lower right caret, go out and bring up the polygon tool. Now, you're going to have something that looks like that. As you pull your mouse, you're going to have a hexagon. Now, keep holding the mouse down and hit the down arrow until you see a triangle. And rotate your triangle until you want to get it so that the vertical member of the triangle, the line of the triangle, is directly vertical. So you hit the shift key. But the shift key, so that's fine. It's giving you a triangle whose base is perfectly vertical. Now release the mouse and take your finger off the key after you release the mouse. Now go up to your black arrow, the selection tool, go to the object menu, transform, and rotate this. Type in -90 degrees and hit the preview button, and it will show you that your triangle is the way we want it to be, like the one in the example. So hit OK. Now, you now have your first triangle, which happens to have a white fill and a black stroke, very much like we did in the Pegasus with the square. Okay, now, at this point, we want to make sure that whatever you've done will create a layer, and it's probably going to say layer 1. So double click that layer and call it triangle. Now disregard mine because I have these as examples to show you, but you should have one layer that's the triangle layer. Then I want you to hit the new layer button and make this layer the design layer and hit return. And this is what we're going to do inside the triangle, and this will be our building block for the tessellation. So I'm going to keep mine located where it is here. You should have yours around the center of the page. So in fact, to make it easier for you, I'm going to move mine over here. I'll bring this one over up to around the center of the page. In this exercise, in order for you to fill up the page, you're going to have to scale the objects as you draw them so that you make room for the tessellation. Now, at this point, our triangle, which is right here, we don't want to have accidentally select it, so we're going to lock it by pointing to the space next to the eyeball, like that. All right, now go to your design layer and grab your pen tool, and we're going to begin by clicking directly on the line. Click once, then you're going to come over down around here, and this is where the head meets the ear on this half profile or half face, and click and drag so you bring out this part of the head like that. Return your mouse over that and retract that lever and go around to here, and you're going to click and drag and make an ear. Retract that. Then you're going to go down here and make the side of his face and click and drag, click it and retract, and then finally end directly on the line of the triangle, like so. Now do Shift, Command A, and deselect. Okay, so we have the profile, the outline around the side of half of a face. And at this point, I want you to go File, Save As, and call this Triangle Tessellation. And when you do your naming, avoid using spaces. So I just did it this way. I did TriangTess, and it's an Illustrator document, and put it where you know you can find it. And then you hit Save. And we will now go on to the next step, which will be to add on the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and followed by the other elements in the inside of the triangle.